Hello everyone, my name is Tsuruyumi and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we will be talking about the differences between Kyudo and archery. Before we start discussing about the differences, first we need to figure out what is Kyudo. Kyudo, literally translated as the way of the bow, is the Japanese art of using bow and arrow. The word Kyudo derives from Kyojutsu, which refers to the bow using technique of feudal samurai in Japan for multiple purposes such as war, ceremony, hunting, etc. No one knows when the term Kyudo starts to come to existence, but according to various sources, the approximate time should be around the 19th century. Nowadays, Kyudo is widely practiced as a form of physical, moral, and spiritual development. Not just in Japan, but it is also slowly getting recognized and practiced by many people around the world. At first glance, Kyudo seems to share a lot of similarities to archery. They both derive from a weapon in the past, and both using bow and arrow to shoot at the target. But that's about it when it comes to the similarity between the two arts. Before going deeper, there's something that we need to clarify. Bow and arrow is something that has been existed throughout the history of humankind for thousands of years in many different civilizations. As a result, there are also many different kinds of archery. So in this video, by saying archery, I'm referring to the modern Olympic Western archery. Now, let us come back to the main point. So what exactly are the differences between Kyudo and archery? This can be summarized and divided into four main parts, which are purpose of training, equipment, costume, and technique. In archery, practitioners focus on the ability of hitting the target accurately. The closer to the center, the higher points they get, with the bullseye being the highest point one can achieve per shot, which is 10, and the further away from the center, the lower the point. Whereas in Kyudo, practitioners focus in the ceremony practice, formality, and ritual, which means not just shooting, but other aspects such as how to breathe, interact, sit, walk, etc. are all essential parts of Kyudo. And hitting the target is just the pure result of doing everything correctly. There is also no point counting system for hitting the target in Kyudo. An archer either hit or miss the target, and a hit is simply a hit. To most practitioners, Kyudo is more closely regarded as a spiritual art, a path that can help one to cultivate themselves to live a more focused life and become a better human being. To some others, it might be more closely regarded as a form of martial arts rather than archery. The first big difference in equipment is the bow. In modern archery, there are different types of bow, in which the two most common types that are widely used nowadays are the recurve and the compound. The recurve bow is the modern evolution of a traditional bow. Meanwhile, a compound bow uses a levering system of cables and pulleys to bend the limbs. In the past, an archery bow used to be made using natural material, such as wood. But in the modern days, laminated carbon fiber and carbon foam has become more popular due to their durability. Furthermore, modern archers also added multiple additional equipments to the bow to enhance the accuracy, such as aimer, stabilizer, clicker, etc. On the other hand, the Kyudo is in its traditional form, same with what it used to be thousands of years ago, with little to no modern modifications. The traditional material to create a Japanese yumi is bamboo. But nowadays, they are also made using the synthetic material such as carbon fiber or glass fiber. Looking at their outer appearance, a Japanese yumi is much longer than a Western archery bow. In fact, the yumi is recognized as the longest bow in the world, with standard length that reaches up to 221 centimeters. Therefore, a yumi requires practitioners to draw a much longer distance to reach its maximum point. Until now, there is no concrete evidence of why a yumi has such length and is asymmetrical shape. Various historians argue that it might be due to the differences between the nature of Japan Island and the mainland. The second difference in equipment between Kyudo and archery is the arrow. Similar to the bow, both Kyudo and archery arrows were also made using natural material back in the day. when the archery arrows were often made using different types of wood, such as ash, elm, or willow. The Kyudo arrows were instead made using bamboo, the same material that was used to create the yumi. In the modern days, both Kyudo and archery arrows are widely made using synthetic materials due to their durability, with aluminium being the most popular. The biggest difference between Kyudo and archery arrows are in their length and their fletching. Since a Kyudo yumi is much longer than an archery bow and require a longer drawing distance, as a result, a Kyudo arrow will also have a much longer length and heavier weight compared to an archery arrow. As for fletching, a large amount of modern archery arrows are fletched using plastic vanes. But on the other hand, a Kyudo arrow's fletch are somewhat similar to how it was made in the past, even though the type of feathers have changed from wild birds, such as eagle, to more commercially available birds, such as turkey or swan. Kyudo arrows always come together in a set of two, called haya and otoya. 3 bird feathers will make 2 arrows, in which all the left part will go to haya and all the right parts will go to otoya. As a result, when launching from a bow, a Kyudo arrow will spin like a bullet towards the target, with the haya rotating clockwise and the otoya rotating counterclockwise. Finally, the last difference between Kyudo and archery equipment is the glove. We often see Olympic archers release arrows from their fingers, especially from forefinger and middle finger. Thus, they have archery gloves that helps with fingers protections. Additionally, they also have options of finger tap, which is a more popular hand protection wear nowadays compared to the glove, given that it allows a smoother release with minimum unnecessary contact. Instead, kake or yugake is the type of glove that Kyudo practitioners often use. It is traditionally made from deer skin, and modern Kyudo kake are still being made using the same material until today. Kyudo practitioners release the arrow from the base of their thumb. Thus, gloves usually have hard thumb with a hook rack that allows archer to hold the string in place. The 2 most popular types of kake are the mizukake and the yotsukake. In archery, there is no specific dress code, but we usually see Olympic archers wearing comfortable and well-fitting clothes to their liking, which allows them to have a full range of drawing motions and maximum comfortability. But in Kyudo, we see every practitioner wear traditional clothing, which are hakama and kekogi. An obi is used to hold the hakama and kekogi in place. Besides, Kyudo practitioners also wear white tabi. After reaching a certain level of mastery in the art, we also see practitioners wear kimono when performing. There are several things to talk about when it comes to the differences between Kyudo and archery technique, and we won't be able to cover all of them in this video. However, there are some major points that we can notice. Firstly, as mentioned above, in Kyudo, practitioners hook the string with the thumb using the rack on their kake glove. Whereas for Olympic archery, we normally see archers pulling the string with their fingers using either archery glove or tap. Secondly, due to the bow and arrow length, the pulling motion using a Kyudo bow is a lot wider. A Kyudo practitioners will start drawing motion by opening their hands apart from above their head, and reach maximum draw when their right hand placing behind their ears, with the left arm pushing straight. Whereas in Olympic archery, we can notice that the draw length is significantly shorter. At maximum draw with the left arm in the fully extended status, we normally see an Olympic archer right hand placed near their chin. And thirdly, in Kyudo, the bow hand is always in the left hand, and the string pulling hand is always the right hand, regardless of the Kyudo practitioner's handedness. Meanwhile, in archery, we can see the archers choose their bow holding hand based on their personal preference. In conclusion, even though at first glance, Kyudo and Western archery seems to be similar, they in fact have many interesting differences. These differences are mainly in the practicing purposes, equipments, costumes, and techniques. Both are interesting forms of art with great depth of history and development that worth pursuing for anyone interested.